Hello and welcome to the Bones Horror Podcast. This is our episode 108. X. Tonight we have with us Jess.
Hello.
And Larry.
Hello.
Back again. So what's that? Once every 3 weeks. We're getting there, aren't we? So this week we are reviewing the 2022 X. Should we kick straight into it, or do you want to talk about anything?
Go straight into it.
Should we
Straight into it.
Go for it, shall we?
Yep.
If I can find the trailer. Hopefully it's this one.
Farmer's daughter, take one. I need to be famous, Wayne. All the best people.
I thought this trailer was brilliant.
You know why?
Why?
Because you got that X Factor.
Yes, A24.
Our days of struggling may soon be over.
Hollywood, here we go.
So this is it. Our own studio backlot.
You looking for a place to stay?
Oh, yes, sir.
That's one ugly son of a bitch. And my wife, Pearl, is next door, so I would appreciate a little discretion.
He don't know what we're doing, does he?
Well, it's better to beg for forgiveness than ask for permission.
Would you like to come inside?
Much obliged.
I want to be in the movie.
Well, you can't. The story can't just change midway through.
If Daddy catches us, there's no telling what he might do.
My wife is not well. It happens after dark.
And that will do. In 1979, a group of young filmmakers set out to make an adult film in rural Texas. But when their reclusive elderly host catch them in the act, they end up right in the shit. So, let's go through this then. Don't want to cut my words off then. So what are we thinking of this? So 2022, an A24 film with a budget of 1 million and a box office of 15 million. What are we thinking Rotten Tomatoes, guys?
81.
Ooh.
I was going to say like 78.
Okay.
I was thinking. Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
94%.
Interesting.
Pretty decent. It's pretty decent. So it's directed by Ty West. I really like a fair few of his films. So I own House of the Devil, The Innkeepers, and The Sacrament. And there's a fair few more as well, I think. I didn't mention. So it starred Mia Goff as Maxine and maybe Pearl. We'll talk about that. And Jenna Ortega as Lorraine. That's the only ones I'm going to mention. So I watched this probably. Let's go straight to streaming. I've got a funny feeling. I watched it quite early doors, like when it first.
Yeah,
came out.
I watched it streaming as well.
Yeah, I think I didn't see it. Definitely didn't see it at the cinema. I don't know how that would have been at the cinema. Quite entertaining, I would have thought. Was that in lockdown? Maybe end of lockdown. Don't know.
I think it was, or at least like during, maybe like in between.
So I think this just an old. Really feels like to me like Debbie Does Dallas with a bit of. You guys won't know what that is, will you? No,
Nope.
I just thought that then. So you're the wrong age.
Showing your age.
Yeah, so it's basically it's 60s, 70s porn films with a touch of a slasher film in it. And that's what it is. Such a basic premise to this story, really.
Be surprising though if we both did turn around and be like, we
love that.
We do know that. It's one of our favorites. Got it in my collection.
So I just really like it. It's entertaining. It's the word. It keeps you engaged, but it is a proper old-fashioned slasher. This old lady manages to pretty much kill everyone. How? I don't know. like that's possible. She does get smashed up a bit in the end, but yeah, there isn't. If you think about it, there isn't really that much going on in it.
Yeah, that's my
There is not a lot of story in it at all.
yeah, that's my only like gripe with the film. I think because I think obviously like I'm a bit biased. I think obviously A24 do like they have some really great films that they produce, obviously. But I think my only gripe with it is that the trailer does a really, really good job of setting it up of like, you know, kind of gives like that Texas Chainsaw Massacre sort of vibe where
It's definitely got that vibe.
Yeah, you sort of know how things are going to end up, in that these characters are gonna like, you know, basically get killed and everything like that. But I think my only gripe with it is that when I was watching it the first time, I thought, oh, okay, what is there going to be like a little twist, or is there going to be, you know, something where like we figure out like we have to uncover what's going on, and it's very much what it says on the tin. I mean, literally the trailer spells it out
film.
there, which there's no like part where you think, oh, what's secretly going on. It's literally that, from what they say from the trailer, is that it's the old lady who is sort of in a way like jealous and sort of wants to be back in that sort of state again. And yeah, it's good. I mean, and as well, I think like the kills are good. I do think that there's some like for every one really creative kill there is, I think that there's ones that they like could have done more with.
Yeah.
Specifically, there's a kill in the barn where someone, if I remember correctly, gets stabbed. And I just sort of thought, like, for the character who it happens to, I thought, in my head, I was thinking like, oh, what a waste. I was like, well, they could have done so much more with that.
Yeah,
and then
I thought
versa.
that.
Yeah, and then vice versa. There's another death with another one of the characters where it involves in the lake with alligator or crocodile.
Yeah.
And that to me is like, oh, brilliant. Like, what a cool, they set it up perfectly, and it's like, this is awesome. And it's that, for me, it's like, for every one kill that you go, that's so cool, there's another kill where you go, oh, okay, that feels like it's just like needed that character gone. So it's like, I
kind of liked Jenna's in a way. Because it was just so like sudden, and you knew something was about to happen, and the fact that she was trapped down there like the whole time, just I actually quite like that one.
Her character as well, her whole story makes me laugh in that film. Like,
it was quite funny actually, because it got to that scene and we were like, they're not going to show anything, it's Jenna Ortega, and like, she's, you know, she was a Disney star, and then she also did Scream that year as well. So she went fully like from Disney to like Scream Queen kind of.
She's really, don't get me wrong, she's really like, I think she's a good Scream Queen, and I think I like something that they do with the trailer as well, which I guess this could be considered a spoiler, so you know, just in case, but they do a great job of making in the trailer like Jenna Ortega's sort of like the focus, where she's not she is like she's a pivotal part, but she's not the main focus.
On Amazon, when you go onto there, it's her picture of her screaming that comes up. Which her scream is just brilliant.
I think they've done a very clever job of being like, I think they know that, especially at the time when it came out, I think Jenna Ortega, as you said, she had Scream coming up, and I think there were the first early talks of her being Wednesday. So I think they were very smart to be like, let's put her front stage. But yeah, she's not like the main protagonist, and she as you said, like the way her character goes is kind of very sudden. They sort of make it out as if oh, she's going to be one of the the finals, and she's going to have to go through all the hardship, and it's just sort of cut very short. But yeah, no, I think it's good. I think that, again, I think my only downside of it is that it's very exactly what it says on the tin. I think like with something like, if you look at the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, even though it is that, it doesn't go too over the top. I think stylistically, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre does stuff where when you're watching it, is like has some really great horror elements with the camera and with the sound and everything. Whereas this sort of goes, here's your characters, oh, they're in the situation, here's the story, oh, and then now we need to get them, killing them off. So this character's going to die. And when characters go into certain situations, you don't sit there and go like, oh, could they make it? You literally go, oh, right, so they're gone, and then they go.
One of the things that I felt was, and I know I've said it before about films, but in a bad way. And this isn't necessarily in a bad way, but it does feel like it could have been made by uni students in terms of the editing and like the parallels and the shadowing and all that kind of thing. It's very much like, it's one of those films you could easily go write an essay about, which I found quite interesting. You can definitely see all the aspects from like other, cult classics like that people love. You could really see all those aspects in this film. But again, it's not a bad thing. But yeah,
I get what you mean. I think it's one. I think it's like sort of. I don't know. I think if someone's going to go out and make a horror, it sort of shows like what you can do. Like it's one of those that you can look at and go, there's quite a lot of stuff you can I don't want to say replicate, like copy, but there's a lot of stuff that you can look at and go, oh, I can do that shot, and sort of then explore and make it your own. But yeah, I do get what you mean. It doesn't feel like a massively high budget sort of, I don't know, I don't want to say over the top, but yeah,
because they even mentioned Psycho in this, and you can see like parts of Psycho, especially like the scene where she's brushing her hair in the bedroom. I think that's definitely Psycho vibes there. But
how old was she?
The old lady.
Yeah, she had
old
late 80s, 90s.
Yeah, I'd say late 80s, maybe like 90s. Maybe even older.
Still having hair,
I was surprised she could stand up.
Pearl.
Oh,
that's the big one.
Is that the 40s?
It's 40s or 50s.
Yeah.
This is when we're going to be like, oh, it's the 70s.
This is no. Oh, wow. That'll be the next one, won't it? So,
1918.
Oh, wow.
1918.
That's a lot. That's when it was.
Her husband serves in World War One, so that's the first film.
And then that's the 70s.
So she's, let's say she's, I don't know how old she is in Pearl. Like,
I mean, in Pearl, she's got a husband, but she's, I think, still with her parents.
Got dodgy ticker.
I mean, she could be 16, right?
Yeah. So old.
Yeah.
I think though that's one thing. That's one thing though. Like, obviously, I know we're gonna review the other films and haven't, need to see Maxine still. But I think that's one of the things that I'll say about this one is that this is definitely so far my favorite one out of the what I've seen. So I mean, I haven't seen Maxine yet, but if I'm thinking correctly of if I have seen Pearl, which I believe so, because if I'm right in thinking there's a thing with a scarecrow. Is it a scarecrow?
Yeah. Does she do something?
Yeah. Then I think I am thinking of the right one. I think that this one's is my favorite, as in it knows what it is. But I have to see Maxine first to kind of get a grand scope of what the trilogy is. But I know that they were meant to be called XXX and then XXX, but then they changed the titles, didn't they? Because it's X, Pearl, then Maxine. I'm not sure why.
Okay, so I think I've said I love it. There's no interpretation particularly in it, which I like. So it leaves me without thinking too much. Things just happen and end, you know. So that
There is one character that I think makes a stupid decision in it, which at the time, when I watched this a while back,
cool.
I actually had this discussion with another friend of, because he said the exact same thing, and both me and him because I don't mind characters in horror films making sometimes silly decisions. I mean, one of the films I think does a great job of taking the piss out of that trope is Cabin in the Woods, of why do the characters make those silly decisions? And it's like the gas that gets released and all of that. But there's this character who is the boyfriend of Jenna Ortega, and at one point he decides to leave. He's like, I'm not having any of it. I'm going to get in the van and I'm going to go. And as he's leaving, the old lady's just stood in front of his van. And you'd think at that point, if you were him, because again, spoilers, but like his Jenna Ortega decides that she wants to be in the porno that they're making, and he doesn't want her to be because she's the sound recordist, the sound technician. And so she says, I want to be in the film, and everyone's very on board with it, bar the boyfriend. So he sort of, while she's doing her scene, he kind of says to himself, "Nah, I'm out. I don't want this." So he's about to leave, and then the old lady's in front of the car, and he just decides to get out of the car and go right up to the old lady and like so close to her to the point of which it's like you're asking for it. And it's not like a situation where it's like they've already kind of said, the characters have already made it very clear to one another in different ways that like, oh, something's a bit weird here, or like, oh, what's happened here, what's going on, this character's missing, sort of thing. We don't know when they're going to be back. So the fact how I don't know. It just, for me, I'm just like, get in the car and just go around. Yeah. Like you would just go around, and he dies in such a way where he gets like stabbed in the throat multiple times, and all I can sit there and think is like, why? I don't know. It makes for a good like death, I guess, but and the way they shoot it's really cool with the headlights of the car and everything. But I just think for characters making stupid decisions, it's one of those where you go, if I'm in that situation, I'm not getting out the car and rolling down the window and going, fucking move. Get out, beeping the horn and driving around and going, right, I'll go around you then. So I don't think it takes away from the entertainment.
No, that's a fun ending. So anyone in the live chat got any comments on this? We had some people in here a minute ago. There's only one again now. Love to know your thoughts. So we just rate it. I'm going to give it a solid 7. Virgin on 8 because I had fun with it and I will watch it again. And we didn't even mention the amount of naked people in it, really. The Eagles giving it an 8. I go 7 and a semi, I think. But Larry?
I'd have to agree. I'd say a solid 7. I think it's enjoyable. It's just not. If someone said to me, "Oh, what horror film are we sitting down watching tonight?" I don't think it'd be the top of my list. But if someone said, "Let's put that on," I wouldn't say no.
I prefer The Innkeepers, personally. Have you seen that?
I don't think so. I've heard of it. Is it also by Ty West?
Yeah. It's definitely worth a watch if you haven't seen it. It's good fun. Jess?
I'd say a 7 as well. Yeah, I thought it was good. I just probably wouldn't decide to watch it again. But,
well, I own it. Okay, so you said it was gripping. It's for a first time watch. I think it's fact I've watched it 3 times now, so it's taken away from it a little bit. But is Ewan in here? Ewan?
I think agreeing with what you said though. First time watch, I think, is when the most enjoyment will come out of it. I think if you've seen it and you're rewatching it, and it's been a long while, I think like you sort of had the same thing. But I think if you've seen it and it's not been too long ago, I think it's one of those that again you can watch it and go, "This is good," but I don't think you'd be going to everyone being like, "Oh, it's the best horror film I've ever seen. It does so many new things to the genre." I think it knows what it is, but that's why it does so well.
Yeah, that alligator scene was stunning. I think when she's swimming,
Yeah.
I thought that was absolutely stunning. Probably my favourite bit of the film, really.
Mm.
Thought it was great. Obviously, yeah, it was good.
But also, one thing I will give it credit for, goes into what Jess was saying as well, is they know what to do with their budget.
Yeah.
I think that the way it's set up is perfect for the budget they have. It's on an old like sort of like farm-esque sort of town, grounds, and then yeah, like they take into account like, okay, we're going to put the budget into like the deaths and the effects on what we do there and the certain shots, and I think that's what lends itself to it. I think that you could easily try and make this film and it just wouldn't work with if you made the setting different or if the deaths were different. And I also think that it works with the story that they're telling with like this group of this group that are trying to make a porno film, and they don't want to like obviously go and tell the people whose land they're on like, oh, we're making this, so they're just like, oh, we're shooting a film, oh, we're doing this, it's nothing bad, we'll just be in the back, we won't be in your hair. So
pretty much we're looking at this as a 7-ish film. Okay, well, I look forward to watching the next one. So we move on to what we've been watching this week.
What have you been watching?
No, seriously, what have you been watching?
I'll write another one day. I'm just trying to think. I've watched a few in this last one. I've been to cinema twice. Let's start with this one.
Is it scary being a lady FBI agent?
Yeah.
Take a nice long look. A letter was left with the bodies. Signed with one word.
Okay. In pursuit of a serial killer, an FBI agent uncovers a series of occult clues that she must solve to end his terrifying killing spree. So I went out last week to my local View cinema and watched Longlegs, Nicolas Cage. I love this film. There's all sorts going on in it. My son, when we came out, he said that was shit. And I went, nah. It was really good. It kept me on the edge of my seat. Nicolas Cage was just brilliant. The lead character, she was great, if a little odd. Have you seen it yet, Larry?
I have not. I just want to see it this week. I've set some time aside to see it.
I'm not going to give too much away on the story, but I was made up with it. It went on so many different paths, and I understood it. And there is an interpretation thing going on in there, and you'll probably explain it to me a little bit later. I think I know what the film's about. I'm probably wrong though, but I thought it was fantastic. Definitely go and see it, Jess. You get the chance. It feels a bit Silence of the Lambs at times.
I get that vibe from it as well, though.
The way it's filmed and when it's set, I think is it set early 90s? I can't remember. No one's really got mobiles. not that I can remember. And it was great. And we went and watched it. This is the funny thing. I went to see Baghead and a couple of others recently on their first showing at View. And literally, I think Baghead, there was 4 of us. You know, it's justified, to be fair. Imaginary, I went to see. There was like literally just a few people. But this was rammed. Sold out on a Friday at 5 o'clock. Loved it. Just thought it was great. Looking forward to owning it. I think there's more to come from it as well, I reckon.
Well, Neon have done pretty well recently because like the marketing for the film has been brilliant. I remember the
I
first
didn't watch
trailer
one
for it.
trailer. I didn't watch any. Purposely.
Yeah, the marketing was brilliant. Like they had like the first trailer I saw gave nothing away, and it was like I thought it was for a true crime documentary, and it was just like the picture of the family, and it had like the police like the 911 call over the top of it. But also they've recently just picked up Chris Stuckman's new film that he's doing with the guy who did Doctor Sleep and The Haunting on Hill House.
Yeah.
And his one's called Shelby Oaks, I think it's called. So I think Neon have just picked that one up. So they're doing all pretty well for like this sort of. I think they're leaning more towards producing. Dare I say? Because I know like it's gets old fast, but like I think they're leaning more towards like again what A24 did and do, which is they do like more experimental horror. You know, they don't lean more into like whether it's a slasher film or whatever. They lean more in towards art house because Longlegs. I don't think it's an art house film, but it definitely has that sort of
Talking
vibe to
highbrow.
it.
Are you talking highbrow?
It's like I'm trying to think how to describe it. So if you have like your standard sort of horror film, like if you take the Halloween franchise or like the newer films is what I'm saying, not the older films. They're very cutthroat. They're very like, you know, Michael Myers like going around killing people. I mean, if you look at X as well, X has a sort of, you know, streamlined this is what it's about, but with like the films, with certain films, there's that you get this sort of art house or experimental vibe to it, where not necessarily the stories, but how they're shot, how they're presented. And as soon as I saw the trailer for Longlegs, that was one of the things that sort of drew me into it because it had that sort of weird vibe to it, where it was you don't really know the story from the trailers. You know, it's only from your description there that you can kind of go, okay, it's about, you know, a killer and a detective's got to stop them. Whereas if you watch,
Sorry, Larry. Is that you?
I don't know. I can
Bit
just
of a noise on there. Bit of a noise on there.
Just heard that just went through my ears. I was like, is that me?
I don't know. It did a little bit earlier, but I don't know if you've noticed, but this week we were sponsored by Govi, who supplied our X curtain behind me. Very nice, isn't it? I don't know if you can see that. Right, yeah.
I feel like you've both got a red vibe
Thank
going
you,
on
Govi.
behind you, and I've got a blue little bit there.
So yeah, so I went to the cinema yesterday to watch this.
This Friday, what do we do?
Save everyone we can.
I have a plan.
So I just died.
Yep.
Anyway.
I thought it was my internet. I was like, no, I'm somewhere completely different.
No.
I was like, can't be me again.
I'll get rid of it
completely different.
Damage. So I went to see Quiet Place Day 1 yesterday. I love the other films. I thought it was again. What did I put in here for our? Their tagline was, or logline, whatever you want to call it, was "Experience the day the world went quiet." So day 1 is literally the first day the aliens came, which you do see elements of that in the second one, I think. Part 2. It's a lovely story, and it's not. It starts about a lady in a hospice dying of cancer, I think, and she goes to the theatre. So she's taken out for the day, which she wasn't ever going to, because she didn't think she'd ever go out again. And she goes to the theatre, and that's when it all kicks off, and it's about her journey, literally. And it's stunning. I really like it. The cinema, considering that film's been out 2 or 3 weeks, I think, was rammed. So it's obviously doing really well. So that was rammed at 5 o'clock on a Saturday. I mean, it's great for cinema at the moment. Hang on, Larry. Let me just see if it's you.
Is this me?
Pause yourself. Mute yourself. Hang on. It's not you. It's not you, mate. Hang on, let's just see if it's me. Oh, it's not me.
I can't hear anything, so.
Oh, Jess.
It's like static.
Yeah.
Oh.
She's gone static.
Like when you have your phone go off and like a computer and it like you hear like the sound. It's like that.
Now, I've got one more film to talk about. I don't know which one to do. So I went and watched a film about fairies. Right. And I went and watched.
It's getting louder and louder.
And I watched a film called Arcadian. Which one do you want me to talk about? So the Shimmy Shamalama Lama Ding Dong, or whatever was one.
Oh, is that the one where like he goes to the concert?
No. I think it might be his daughter or son or someone.
Oh yeah. His daughter, where they're stuck in like the woods, aren't they?
Yeah. I might save that one. So we talk Arcadian. Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
There are those who believe they came after the pollution people caused. And they're here to cleanse the planet of the human race. So we'll all become extinct. We have to stay vigilant. Do you understand?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll meet you right here before the sun sets behind that hill.
It was good to see you.
You're late!
Sorry, I lost track of time.
Are we safe?
Yes.
Are we secure?
Yes. Thank you for this food we are about to receive. Thank you for bringing us together as a family. I don't want to hide from them anymore.
Okay.
It's Nicolas Cage again.
Yeah, I think. What was that other one I was going to watch? Oh yeah. So Arcadian. So when the sun sets, ferocious creatures of the night awaken and consume all living souls. So the usual, at night, things come out and try and eat you, kill you. So another fantastic Nick Cage film. I think he's doing great at the moment. Jess is blinking now. What's going on, Jess? Are you flashing?
I don't know. I just don't know what's happening
Your
there.
lights are flashing. You can making weird noises.
I mean, I can wait.
So Arcadian. I had a lot of fun with that. It is
Nicolas Cage though. If he gets like a good project,
blue now, red.
Is that better?
So yeah, Nick Cage is knocking it out of the park. I think it's great.
I was just googling if that was a kid from It, but it is.
Yeah.
Is it?
He's very good.
Which one?
Billy or Bill?
You want in it long?
Long hair one.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bill.
Oh,
That was him,
Bill,
was it?
the kid
Yeah.
who stutters. Yeah.
Didn't realise that was him. So, yeah, it's
I
just
don't know.
normal. It's two kids, no mum, just a dad looking after them. They go out, they get into a bit of bother. They don't get home by dark, and it's that kind of story.
It just reminds me though of there's another film that it reminds me a lot of, and maybe it's just because there's so many films out there that you're always going to like draw a comparison to another. But there's another film that I think does the premise. But I haven't seen the Nicolas Cage one. But if you've seen a film called It Comes at Night,
It comes at night.
what? Yeah, and I just feel like it's the same premise.
Pretty much. It's the same premise you've probably seen in I Am Legend,
Yeah.
for instance, or any of those vampire
I don't
films
know.
that come
I
out
feel
at
like
night. You know,
they need to do something. I don't know. They just want something different. Like
scary things come out at night.
you've got a there's a whole book of Lovecraftian horror. Just someone make all of them. Yes, Jess has got the same, but yes, brilliant. Someone go out and make that.
Here you
I've got
go.
that on my
All of
Kindle.
that.
It's a lot smaller.
This is what I mean. Like, I don't know. Maybe it is just me, but I just find that there's a lot of these films that follow the same sort of trope, which is like, oh, it's the end of
We're
the
running
world.
out of ideas, aren't we?
It's always like there's so many of these films that do it where they're like it's the end of the world and there's this family and they've survived, but they're on this like little cottage or in the farmlands or something, and got to make sure that they stick to a proper regime, and if they break that regime, then everything will go to shit, and then suddenly something happens where a character shows up or they break their regime and one of the characters is already in there, does something different, and then they all come at night or whatever, and it's just like, I don't know, I can only see that premise so many times before I start going brain dead to it.
But it's the way you tell it, isn't it?
I don't know.
The thing with this one, I think they're twin brothers. See, it's totally different. See?
It's just add another brother or sibling on every time you tell
time.
it. They're not two brothers, they're two sisters.
The monsters are quite good, to be fair. There's some good scenes in it. So I would recommend that. I think you can get it on iTunes already for a tenner. It's worth a tenner all day, I would say. You guys, I have got one trailer to show, but I do that on my trailer picks. So what did you watch, Jess?
I've watched so much, I actually can't remember any of the names of any of the films I've watched recently.
Any
but
horror?
Yeah. I'm sure I have.
I don't know what your cat's doing.
Doing things he shouldn't be doing, probably. I did just finish last night, actually, the last season or the latest season of The Boys, which has a lot of horror kind of aspects to it, I guess, mixed with superheroes. And it was brilliant, as always.
I'm on season 2 still.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Season 3 will be my favorite, but I love season 4 as well.
Yeah, and now we've got a 2-year wait for the next season.
Yeah.
2 years.
I'm going to presume that there will be a Gen V season between that.
Yeah, I'm hoping so anyway.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I can think of, to be honest.
Okay.
And I've nearly finished reading it. So that's what I've been
Yes.
concentrating on. I literally have this much left. So yeah.
Be interesting.
Still trying to get Rhea to watch it. To read it, sorry.
Oh, God.
You've seen the films, Jess? You must have done.
The new ones, yeah.
Okay.
I haven't seen the original.
You need to see that. It's good.
Mm.
I've got it. I've just got it. Just sat right there. Look.
Oh,
hold on. I'll go show you my set. Hold on.
Oh, what's he got?
Oh no.
We might have seen this.
It's gonna be some like
What's
fancy.
he got now? Some fancy
Yeah.
box.
I've got 2 copies of it now. Ugh. I just got the new copy.
Oh wow.
I really like these.
Yeah, they're nice, aren't they?
So yeah, we're getting all the matching.
What's he
ones.
got?
So I got this set from Zavi, I think, when the second one came out. So I got this
Oh,
that's
steel
beautiful.
tin.
What's that?
But,
nice.
Is that
but
the new ones?
yeah, but they have. That's the steel book of
Oh,
that one, and it
Oh,
has the
wow.
balloon.
so good.
A balloon.
And then the second one,
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
2 balloons.
That's
Ah.
nice.
It was expensive, but worth it.
I'm going to be looking that up after this. And
I think you can get them on eBay. I've seen some that don't, because I don't know if it has the metal tin,
Mhm.
but like yeah, you
I've
can
just got the standard
you can still
4K
get
ones.
it.
Mm.
Yeah, I've just got the standard ones. And you can have this one, Jess.
It was like a promotional thing, like after the
You
second
can have
one
the
came
Blu-ray
out.
one. It's sat there if you want it.
I don't know if I've got that or not. I'll have to have a look. I feel like I
Yeah,
have
I've
at least
got-
one of them on
I've
DVD.
got a
But
4K one somewhere.
nice.
Yeah, they did like a promotion thing. When the second one came out, you could go see the first one and the second one back to back at midnight.
Oh,
Oh, I would love that.
I'd have fallen asleep.
So I did that, and so the first one, like they started showing it at like just after 9 o'clock, and then there was like a half an hour break, and then at midnight on the dot, the second one started. But Zavi and HMV, they still do it now sometimes with certain films, but Zavi and HMV sometimes they'll do it with Deadpool and Wolverine, which is what I desperately want to see as well. They do it where they go like, oh, at midnight on the dot, they'll release like a special steelbook or 4K
wow.
or whatever. And so on Zavi, I usually have them notify like if a new release comes out. And yeah, they this got released on Zavi, so I just ordered it straight away. But yeah, like I said, my bank was screaming at me afterwards, like, no.
How much was it, Larry?
I think it was like just over 50 quid,
Oh, it's not bad
maybe
for
coming
that.
to 60.
Yeah.
Wow, it's quite expensive.
But I guess you do get like they're 4K and it's like steelbooks and stuff, and so I can get that. But
I haven't got many steelbooks at all. Not really. I've got Blair Witch and a couple of others. That's about it.
I have too many of the same films.
Yeah. I bet you got Evil Dead, haven't you?
Yeah. Zavi did that was for the newest one as well. Zavi did one on there, which I ordered off there to match the Evil Dead remake, the 2013 one.
Oh yeah, I've got 2 of them, and I had to order another one. Just had an extra 5 minutes in it.
It's worth it though. Go watch our podcast where we talk in depth about that.
Yeah, that's got 23,000 downloads or something. So yeah, it's good.
As we changed so many people's opinions, so many people
Yeah.
looked at their DVD and went, "I've not got the right one."
Yeah, so there's 25,000 people. What have you been watching, Larry?
So recently, me and Ria, we started the Marvel Cinematic Universe from the very beginning. So we went on Disney and we went on the Marvel.
Did you start with the Hulk?
Yeah.
We started with Hulk.
Well, first one is Captain America, then it's
it was
Captain.
Hulk, was it? Which one?
Captain
when was the Hulk
Marvel.
one?
The Hulk comes after Iron Man 1.
Okay.
Because like we basically we did it where we were like, right, we'll go on Disney and we're gonna start from the beginning and just go through the order. And primarily because we both want to go see the new Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
And because now they're in the cinematic universe, like the actual MCU, we were like, oh, you know what? We're just going to watch them all. Some of them we binged
quickly before we move on. There. So when we went to watch Quiet Place at the beginning, before the film starts, Wolverine and Deadpool appear, and there's a phone. Sounds like it's going off. And Wolverine just starts throwing F-bombs to turn the effing phone off. And it's a very funny couple of minutes to watch. So they may well put that on before.
I hope so.
It's very, very funny because Wolverine loses it.
I think they've done like I think they've done a very smart move. I know like Hugh Jackman has talked about how he just sort of like decided, he was like, you know what, screw it, I want to be in the MCU, I want to do it with Ryan Reynolds, so let's do it. But because they're like joining the MCU, I still watch the films, like Marvel films and everything, but I've definitely not been as into it after Guardians, like and the end game. So where they're like sort of talking about, oh, they're gonna kickstart again the MCU and all that, it sort of got me quite excited. So
We're going to
yeah,
get more Wolverine films, do you think?
I hope so. I mean, Secret Wars.
He's looking quite
Secret
old.
Wars. Yeah, like so they've said about Avengers Secret Wars, and that's got loads of rumors that Hugh Jackman will be in that, which I think would be smart for him to do, because it means that then, you know, if you're coming back to do Wolverine anyway with Deadpool, why not? Like, just go in a film with all the Avengers and have fun with it. But yeah, so we decided to watch all of them. Some of them we binged in like literally an evening. We like when we first started it, we did that typical thing where we put on Captain America, and then we were like, oh, what's the next one? Captain Marvel. Oh, go on then, we'll watch that. What's the next one? Oh, Iron Man. Oh, we got to watch Iron Man.
That's
and then
lovely
it just
that
kept
you can
going
do
and
that. I don't get that at all.
It was good fun. Don't get me wrong. There were one or two films where both of us sat there and we were both like, oh, all right, we've got to get through this one. But yeah, we just recently, literally yesterday, we finished it. We finished it with Endgame, and it was brilliant. What else have I watched? What else have I watched? That's a very good question. Well, I've watched because it's been so long since the gap in between. There's been a lot. Watched. I'd have to remember the name of it. I watched a really good horror film. I bought it on YouTube.
Okay.
But it was a French horror film, and it was about. I can't remember the name, but it was about possessions, and being that like when essentially like you're possessed, it's this demon will try and like coerce you and then essentially like impregnate itself in you. And it was a really, really good horror film. Like, I was pleasantly surprised.
And what about a woman having sex with her car?
No.
That was French, wasn't
it? Yeah, I remember that one. That was I remember that one, ironically.
Was that a Dan Hot Pig? I'm sure it was. I own that film.
I definitely did not watch that.
You did. She gets pregnant by a car.
I remember you brought it up on the podcast, and it was like, what is going on?
I can't remember.
I can't remember the title of this horror film.
It's French anyway. Definitely French. But I'd like to know what. Yeah, once you know what it is, Larry, let me know. And
I'll put it in. I'll put it in our group chat. But it was really good. It was the effects were brilliant, and the story. It reminded me a lot of It reminded me a lot of the horror film that we covered on here, where it was. God, why are the names escaping me? The one where it was like a ghost story where the little kid dies at the beginning and his body comes back, and he gets hit by the bus.
Pet Sematary.
No, not Pet Cemetery. The
that's exactly the story. Pet Sematary.
Yeah, no, it is. I realised as you said it, I was like, shit, yeah, that is Pet Cemetery. Terrified. Is that the name of it? Terrified. Not Terrified,
because I love that. No, Terrified is a great film.
Yeah, very, very
scary. Spanish?
Yeah,
maybe?
It's very.
Oh.
Yeah, it's very, very similar to that. The one I watched. So very like, it's about two brothers on like a farm. It might be it might be Spanish.
Oh, you're on about. I know what you're on about. That's a great film.
It's two brothers on a farm, and they're trying to not. They're like, anyone who comes to their house, they're like, go away. Because it's like, if you engage with someone who's possessed, you can get it. It's like a virus.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That's the one. That's the one. Really, really good.
That's a very scary film. Shudder, Jess. I don't care what it's called. It's not Terrified. It's similar.
No, I'm desperately trying to remember the name of it.
There'll be people in the chat who know. There'll be people in the chat who know. Anything else before we get on to my trailer pick?
No, there's a bunch of stuff I really want to see.
Yeah.
I really want to see the new Alien Romulus.
Yeah, I'm going.
Desperately want to see that, so I'm going to go see that in summer.
When's Star of Acre out? Do you know about that?
Mm.
Matt Smith horror film coming out soon.
Oh, that's another thing you've mentioned that I've been watching. House of the Dragon.
Oh, I still need to watch that.
I haven't seen any.
Very good. Season 2 is very, very good. My only annoyance is that it's less episodes. But yeah, because the other one I was going to mention was The Boys as well, because I thought that was really good. I thought the way, without spoiling it, obviously the way it ended, I was so happy because I was like, because they've said season 5 is going to be the last season, so the way it rounded this one up, I was like, brilliant. And then also a certain character that's going to be returning, I was like, yes, my favorite character. So I'm very happy with that. But yeah, that's about everything.
Cool. So do you want to have a look at my trailer pick this week?
Mm-hmm.
I want Dan's hot pick back. I miss all that. Don't know where he is. Calling Sweden.
Oh, you bastards! Why are you torturing me like this? Why?
So, here we go.
You shouldn't have let him in.
Shouldn't have done. The film centers on a blind medium and curio shopkeeper who is still grieving the death of her twin sister a year prior. A wooden mannequin from her cabinet of curiosities become crucial to her quest. There are 2 trailers to this, and they look like totally different films. So, this is called Oddity. Really looking forward to seeing it. I think it's due to come out in the next week or so. Looks a lot of fun. I don't know if you got most of that, but there is another trailer that totally tells a different story. It's more to do with the child dying and stuff. Yeah, a bit of an odd one. Oddity. So maybe I'll be chatting about it in a couple of weeks' time. But yeah, that one kind of jumped out at me, and I thought, well, I've got to see that. I can understand what they're saying as well, so it's all good. Jess is making noises. So
I know that one thing I forgot to state on the other podcast, but I can talk a little bit about, is in late 2024, early 2025, the lock will finally be released properly. Finally. And then it will be going on to we'll be going on to different projects that I've put up some pictures of. But
you're getting there, are you?
Yeah, they'll finally be up. It's been a long while because obviously we were shooting before COVID, and then we had it in the edit, and then COVID happened, and it was quite like a hectic time of like, do we want to do reshoots and anything like that? And then sort of shelved the project for a while, and then we went back to it and had a rewatch of what we got up to, and a lot of we sort of sent it around to people to say like, hey, look, can you don't send it off, can you just like, we're going to give you a link that'll then be like dead after like a week, can you just watch it and give us some feedback? And we had overwhelming good feedback of saying,
do you know what's disappointing there? Do you know how much stuff I get sent? Do you know how many films I get sent on a weekly basis to watch, and you didn't even send it to me?
Oh, this was a while back. This was this is also like, I think one of the things as well is that so at the time the person who helped guest produce it, because we change a lot, so obviously like going forward, I know Jess spoken to you about taking on some of them, and sort of like getting, and yourself, Kev, and others involved. And at the time, obviously, we did it very differently, where it was project to project. And so many people would come in and leave, which is obviously all cool because that's just how, when people are busy. But
Yeah.
I think what we're trying to do now is make it more so that there's a big group and that it can stay as that group and people can, tackle what they want to tackle. But yeah, it's coming along really well. So there will before it goes out, there will be.
I would like to have a watch, and I was like, is he sending it out already?
Yeah, no. This is the edit is, how do I put this in the best way possible? The edit is not done yet. So when we can sit there and say we are happy completely, then we will send out the preliminary edits, and then once we get the feedback from those ones, which is the crucial feedback, because that'll be sending out the film, then obviously we'll start putting up some promotional stuff for it, and then sort of while that's going on, we'll be working on fully kickstarting into what's coming next.
Will we be getting a Christmas special orangutan kind of episode, or not? I'd love to see that.
It is on the list. It's on the list. There's a list of things.
We need to get that up on the bone. Some of your, I think they're fantastic.
Well, yeah. So Jess, I don't know if you were still watching at this point, but no, we might have. I don't think we talked about this on the podcast. It was probably after, but a lot of the new stuff that we make, I think we're gonna put it on the Bones channel, just because then it means that then can go under the Bones name. There's one or two things that won't, like the lock, I think won't, just because a lot of its previous stuff has been shoved on somewhere else. But a lot of the new stuff going forward will probably go under the Bones Horror Pod, because then it comes as a collective.
Awesome. Awesome. Brilliant. So our next episode in a couple of weeks, hopefully we'll have you back, will be Pearl, and we'll probably finish the series with Maxine, and then we will move on to, it's probably one of you guys' picks.
The Blob.
The Blob. It would most likely be the Blob. Are we doing the original or the remake, or
the Frank Darabont's the remake?
The remake. That'd be lovely.
Yeah.
So if you want to follow us on Twitter or X, it's Bones Horror Pod. Where else are we? You can email us at boneshorrorpod@gmail.com. If you want to send us anything, we have Instagram, Bones Horror Pod, I think, on there as well, and Facebook can fuck itself, as I always say. And that's about it. So it's great to be back. It's great to be making these. Thank you, Govey, for my lovely curtains. You've been a star. Can you send me some other bits to go around? You can actually see my office now. So thank you very much, and thank you to those in the group chat. It's been absolutely great. And we'll be back in a couple of weeks. See you all then. Bye.
Bye.
Later. Bye.
When do I end the stream? Because I've been a bit late ending it. Shall we end it now?
Now.
Goodbye, everyone. Love you all.